Hey, what's up, y'all? This is D. Happy Sunday. This is D coming at you with a Sunday swim. Everything is cool down here in the man cave. Everybody's doing all right. I just fed my urchin last night off my veggie clip. Just got another one of my mag feeder clips here by good old Aquarius Julian Sprung. If you don't know about the mag clip, check them out. They are awesome, and my urchin loves it. If you're not feeding your urchin, you're starving your urchin. I learned that. But everybody's doing cool down here. All of the tanks are doing good. As this is Sunday, this is wake up time. And with the blue lights on, it really doesn't give it a lot of justice, but the tank is just waking up. What I will tell you is, since I started upping the dosage with the Kent Marine level of products, in addition to their two-part, been getting a lot of growth, especially in the zoas. The zoas are going crazy. They're all off the rock and onto the egg crate. The only downside is my waving zinnia has also gone off the deep end, kind of overgrow these what do they call them? I forgot what they are. Something bullseye zoas. There's so many names for zoas, man. Who can keep track anymore? But kind of overgrew those. So last week I actually plucked a few of those off. And I'm going to probably have to do that again. So when you have these quickly encroaching corals, you got to know that sometimes you got to do a lot of pruning there. Forget about it. Pavona's going nuts, but you can really look at the top of the tank to see how much that waving hand has really grown. The algae has also grown in my little refugium area back there. I took quite a bit of that out and used it to start, the Aqueon, the Aqua Springs cube over here. The fish are doing good. I made another video because the test last week, since I did the change and added the additional bacterial colony to this tank made by Dr. Tim's all-in-one, the phosphate level has dropped by about 40 points. So we're getting under that 1.0. It's still about 1.1, but when we started, remember, it was like 1.4, and I haven't done anything. I haven't done any water changes or anything like that, but I added the Dr. Tim's and tested the ammonia, and everything is coming up peachy. I did add 2 hermit crabs in here. One is always all over the place, and another one just sits there like a bum. But anyway, it is what it is. I'm not a hermit, so I can't judge. Plants are growing. The caulerpa is actually growing. You can see a little bit of growth there. I want that to really grow because this is going to be more of a natural tank. I'm not putting any chemicals. I'm trying not to put. I may. What I do is I do some water change from this tank to that tank to keep the levels stable and the same. So when I do the water changes, I take the water from here, which may seem odd, and I put it in that tank, which explains why you get phosphates. And I take that water and take it out. So this tank is dosed with the Kent Marine level of products in the two-part. And when I keep those levels stable, you actually see explosions in the growth of this chaetomorpha and stuff in there. What I'm trying to not do is get any red. Like there's a little bit of red there, but that's because there was red algae in the other tank. So trying to keep those levels stable. The fish are really happy, I have to say that. And I did find that one of my fry is actually become a male. The rest are all female. It's really hard to get males. I don't know why, but these are my babies getting big really fast. And if you look really close, I'm trying to get a close look on them. These were fried from these white mollies and my black marble molly. Well, one of them was a marble outside. The other one was just a black, and I'm not sure which one was the pops. I thought it was a black one, but the fry are gray if you look at them, which is really odd. I'm wondering if they get older, they'll probably take on that black coloration, but the finnage is really distinctive. If you can really look close, they're so damn hyper, you can really hard to film them. But one has a real streak in the finnage that is like kind of like a line goes straight down it. And they're growing pretty fast in the tank, so that just goes to show, give the fish some room and healthy water, and they will grow really nicely for you. So everybody's doing all right. I'm still happy with the Aqua Springs. Only thing I will say with this is I'm sure I lose a lot of water to evaporation from the water coming up and hitting the cold air of the basement, because if you look at the tank, look how much condensation is here. I have a preset heater which I don't control. That's the one thing I don't like. I may swap that out. I only kept it in there because it's small. I like heaters that I can control because the temperature is higher than I want it to be. I don't keep my tanks at 78, especially in the winter. I drop it to like 76 or 75 because the basement has about 74 according to that. Personally, I think it's more like 72 or 73, but according to the thermostat over there, it's 74. So to keep the tank water at 78, you're going to be losing a hell of a lot of water to evaporation. And you can see it, the water level is pretty low. I raised, I filled it. This is not on the auto top off, where this tank is on the auto top off. And what I just knocked down? Just knocked down the magnet here to my temperature here. And this one is warm too, but the salt water evaporates at a much quicker I am not going to say quicker because water is water, but it has a much greater impact on the tanks, because when the water in the salt water tank evaporates, it kind of raises the concentration of salinity in the tank. So you really got to stay on top of that. If you're evaporating a lot of water, you have to make sure that you replace that water with fresh water, because your salinity will increase and it can stress your corals and fish out. So that's just a note to keep tabs of. Look at it, he's back on it. So if you're wondering how I feed my urchin on the clip, that's how. When I put that clip in the water, I don't know how urchins can see, but he can see and knows it's in there. This was a whole sheet of algae out to here, and he ate it from last night to right now. Okay, but on that note, everybody's doing good. I will add another thing. Now, look at a few videos back that I've made, and you will notice that you did not see this many mushrooms in there. They are splitting and growing really quickly. So, two things are going to happen. This zinnia has grown very quickly. I'm going to take this out and put a lot of this in the tank upstairs because I don't want it to overrun the tank. I want this predominantly SPS and more hard corals like the chalices, pavonas, and Pasiliporas, Favias, so on and so forth. So I'm going to be removing a bit of this, if not the whole thing. I haven't decided yet. And putting that in the tank upstairs. The mushrooms, once this tank stabilizes, it's still rather new in my opinion. I'm going to grow these out. I'm going to bring maybe this or this, a few of these mushrooms. They're beautiful. You can't tell with the blue light. They haven't come on yet. But they're beautiful elephant ear mushrooms. They are growing really quickly. There's another one there that's grown up through the egg crate. There's another one in the back there growing up through the egg crate. I got a Monty that I forgot was down here. It actually fell. I had it mounted and it kept falling, so I left it down here, and it's actually growing better here than it was on the rock. So low light conditions for this guy, check mark. Doing good. And I also have to say that the upping the dosing of the additional minerals like the strontium and potassium have definitely shown improvement in the growth of the tank. This bad boy is showing beautiful blue tips. I'm going to post the pictures on my Instagram page when the lights come on full, but you can see the shading here is different. The tips are blue, and I have never had good luck with those brighter colors like blue, reds, and yellows, so I have to attribute it to the dosing. I have not done a water change in about 3 weeks. I'll probably do one today if I get off my lazy buns. And yeah, that's doing good. Everybody's doing good. What did I miss? Oh, I got the Favias from my man, Mr. Mike. Doing good. It's pretty much healing up. That's healing up there. If I can focus, let me just hit that focus button, okay? And I got another one here in the darker corner. You get a little more yellow in this darker corner here. It's doing good. Beautiful. Once again, you can see the reds even with the actinic blues on. So it's doing pretty good. The mushrooms have grown. I got about a half a dozen, if not a dozen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Whoa, more than a dozen. Okay, so those may have to come out. Okay. Yeah, they've grown. Beautiful purples. I didn't even intend on having them in here, but I moved a plug, and I guess there was a little one on the back of a plug, and voila, life finds a way. Oh, here's another one. There's another one there, and another one there. Yeah, they're going to grow over this favia, so I may have to do some movement, but let's see how the favia does. If the favia doesn't complain, I'll leave it. If not, scraping them off the rock will not be fun. There's another Pasillipora growing up under the Pavona. It's growing in the darkness. The Pavona has really reached out from the rock, and this has really encrusted quite a bit, so kudos to that. There's my giant snail. There's another Pavona. If you've been following the channel, I hope you are. If you're not, go back and watch a few of the other videos. You'll notice this has completely outgrown the plug in the last 3 weeks. This is week 3. Overgrown. It's bigger than that old dead skeleton that it is stuck on, so I hope it doesn't attach to that rock. I'm going to move that. And that's it. Everybody's doing good. You can see these pallies. You can't even see the plug anymore, so obviously they're growing. They'll probably attach to the egg crate too, so I'll have to do something with that. And cool. One question. How many of you guys actually ramp your lights up and down, like have sunset and sunrise and sunset in your tank? 'Cause this is an old Ocean Revive, which has the old-fashioned buttons, not the newer 47s with the programmable feature, as is the same for this Marine Land light, which has one plug, so this one just kind of turns on, but does good. You can see Shado grows in there, Shado grows in there. So question goes out to you. How many of you guys actually have your lights ramp up and down? Interesting to see who does and who doesn't. Since I added this light, I'm not using the Aqua Springs light because I had this little 5-gallon on the side with the plants. I'm going to probably get rid of this tank because it's really just sitting here. It's pretty, but look at the pothos. Look how high it's grown. It's grown up over the tank, over the cube, up the wall, and up the poster. It'll be touching the ceiling. As the poster says, be careful what you ask for. Be careful what you wish for. You might get it. My old Coraline poster. But yeah, so it's really just beautiful plant, but I don't know what it's doing. I just had it growing here. I got sick of that bubbling noise that I used to hear from the tank, so it's not even no air or anything going in there. My fry kicked off. I haven't seen him in a long time, so I'm assuming he croaked. He was in here a long time, and I didn't take him out. I took the other one out. So everything is doing good. With that, I'll wrap this video up. Got any questions? Post them in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Click subscribe. That's it. Time for coffee.